on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did.
You guys are driving around and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
You got to the light and he happened to be hanging out the window. Once he got to reaching, I got to ducking.
Which of those four is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that made this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in A Vision. I only got shot once because they found the book. The police found it, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them, either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
This was followed up with Diddy being confronted about it in an awkward interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you, listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to fuck? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot he wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them. The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got to reaching, I got to ducking.
So someone from your car.
That's what I
started at Tupac and Suge.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looked at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window. Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. Hate it happen. Probably to God. I feel they should, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. Wish it never happened, dude.
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
Bruh, stop whatever you're doing, because hip-hop's biggest mystery just flipped upside down like a script rewrite from hell. Diddy and Snoop Dogg, yes, the Diddy and the Snoop, just got dragged into Tupac's murder case. This ain't no fan theory, no TikTok rumor, no "my cousin heard from Suge Knight's barber" nonsense. This is real, and it's so wild it makes the Kardashian drama look like a Sunday school picnic. For decades, we've been told the same story. Tupac's death was just another tragic drive-by. But now, the streets are whispering, the FBI files are leaking, and Hollywood's favorite uncles, Puff Daddy and Uncle Snoop, are standing in the middle of a crime web thicker than a Kanye rant. Bro, if this turns out to be true, we're not just talking about hip-hop history. We're talking about American history getting rewritten in front of our eyes. Imagine the two biggest icons of 90s rap suddenly being linked to the one case that defined the culture. It's like if Drake got caught running Area 51. It's that insane. And here's the craziest part. New evidence, secret witnesses, and names that were never supposed to be mentioned are starting to pop up like ghosts from the Death Row Records vault. The internet's melting, fans are divided, and every rapper alive right now is holding their breath. So buckle up, because what's coming next might just change everything you thought you knew about Tupac, Diddy, and Snoop Dogg. Welcome to Rapscope X, where the truth hits harder than a diss track. They said the Tupac murder case was over. Cold, buried, done. But apparently the streets don't sleep, and neither do secrets. Because this week, out of nowhere, the whole game got flipped like Suge Knight's temper at an award show. Sources. And when I say sources, I mean the type that make TMZ look like kindergarten, are claiming that new evidence has connected two of hip-hop's most legendary names to the case, Diddy and Snoop Dogg. Yeah, go ahead and blink twice. The same Snoop who preaches peace, positivity, and cannabis. The same Diddy who's been throwing shiny suit parties since the 90s. Both names are now being whispered in the same sentence as Tupac's murder. Bro, this ain't just a twist. This is a whole genre shift. It's like if the Avengers suddenly joined Breaking Bad. Let's rewind the tape. 1996, Las Vegas. Tupac Shakur gets shot 4 times in a drive-by after a Mike Tyson fight. The case goes cold faster than Kanye's Twitter account after an Adidas call. Everyone's got their theories. Suge did it, East Coast versus West Coast. Inside job, aliens, Illuminati, take your pick. But the official line? Nothing solid. Now fast forward to 2025, boom. Some dusty detective from Nevada opens a vault, digs up evidence, and suddenly, Diddy and Snoop's names are floating around like ghosts of the golden era. How? Why? And more importantly, what the hell were they hiding? According to reports, investigators found old communications linking Diddy to certain individuals connected with the night of Tupac's shooting. And Snoop? Word on the street is he might have been in contact with key witnesses who vanished faster than Ja Rule's career after 50 Cent. Now look, nobody's saying they pulled the trigger, but the whispers are loud enough to shake the foundation of the culture. Diddy's camp is screaming lies. Snoop's team is dropping Bible quotes on Instagram. But behind the scenes, every rapper over 40 just poured themselves an extra drink. Because let's be real, the Tupac case isn't just a murder story. It's the origin story of hip-hop's dark side. It's the line between rap as music and rap as mythology. Every legend, Biggie, Nas, Jay, Kendrick, they all grew up under the shadow of Pac's unsolved death. And now that shadow is crawling back. You can almost hear the internet losing its mind. One fan tweeted, "If Diddy and Snoop did it, I'm switching to country music." Yeet too. Another said, "Bro, hip-hop just entered its Game of Thrones era. Everyone's guilty." Meanwhile, YouTubers, podcasters, and TikTok detectives are working overtime like they're solving national secrets. Screenshots of old interviews, cryptic lyrics, throwback photos, everything's being reanalyzed. People even pulled up that 1997 MTV clip where Snoop looked uneasy when asked about Pac. Coincidence? Maybe. But this is the internet. We don't do coincidences. We do chaos. And let's talk about Diddy for a second. The man's been under fire for months. Lawsuits, exposés, conspiracy threads thicker than the smoke in Snoop's studio. His empire's already shaking. So when will this leak hit? It was like pouring jet fuel on a bonfire. Diddy tried to play it cool, hit the club, post a God is good caption, throw on some sunglasses. But even he can't dance around this one. The memes hit harder than lawsuits. One had Diddy's face photoshopped onto a detective board like he's the final boss in a crime saga. Then there's Snoop, the people's uncle, the chillest man alive. The idea of him being linked to a murder case feels like finding out Bob Ross ran a fight club. Fans were straight up confused. Ain't no way Snoop involved. He's too high to hate anyone, one comment said. But that's what makes it spooky. Nobody suspects the calm ones. The alleged documents mention communications between Snoop and unidentified witnesses who were allegedly near the scene that night. Nothing proven, but enough to make fans question everything. Like, was that laid-back smile just smoke and mirrors? And here's where it gets even messier. There's talk that both Diddy and Snoop were on law enforcement's radar for years, but the files got buried. Some say it was politics. Others say fear. After all, back in the day, these two weren't just artists. They were kingmakers. Diddy ran Bad Boy like a billionaire mob boss, while Snoop was the West Coast's smooth-talking diplomat. If either one of them got exposed, the entire industry would have crumbled. Now imagine being in 1997 and the police realize, hold up, we might have links between both coasts in one murder? That's not an investigation, that's an earthquake. So what do? You lock it away, say no leads, and hope the story fades. Except, legends don't die quietly. The new reports are sparking wild speculation that a former insider might have finally talked. Someone old, someone bitter, someone who's been watching from the sidelines as these guys built empires off a tragedy. That's the scariest part, not knowing who opened the vault. Because in this game, snitches don't just tell, they detonate. The media's spinning harder than a DJ premiere record. One headline screamed, "Hip-hop's holy men under fire." Another said, "Tupac's ghost finally speaks." And that's exactly how it feels. Like the past, just woke up and decided to snatch the mic. And here's where it gets wild. Apparently, this leak didn't even come from law enforcement. Word is, it came from a private investigator hired by a streaming platform for a new Tupac documentary. Yeah, Netflix might have just exposed the unexposable. Imagine signing up for a docuseries and accidentally unlocking a 30-year-old crime secret. If that's true, we might be looking at one of the biggest entertainment disasters in history. Like, oops, we just broke hip-hop kind of disaster. As the story spread, radio hosts started pulling archives, fans started crying setup, and old-school rappers started posting cryptic captions like, "Truth always comes out." Bro, this feels less like news and more like a countdown. But maybe that's the real twist. Maybe the truth was never buried. Maybe it's just been waiting for the right time to strike back. Because in hip-hop, nothing ever stays dead. Not beats, not beefs, and definitely not secrets. And if this leak is even halfway true, we're not just reopening a case. We're reopening the entire foundation of the culture. Every lyric, every feud, every East versus West headline suddenly looks different. The world's watching. The fans are screaming. The legends are sweating. And this is only the beginning. The moment the news dropped, boom, the internet didn't just react, it was combusted. Twitter turned into a war zone. TikTok detectives went full FBI mode. Reddit turned into a courtroom. And hip-hop fans, they were out here connecting dots like they just cracked the Da Vinci Code. Bro, you would have thought the Illuminati dropped their group chat screenshots. Everywhere you looked, Diddy, Snoop, and Tupac were trending harder than Drake's latest heartbreak. You couldn't scroll 2 seconds without seeing Diddy's face edited onto a Breaking Bad poster, or Snoop Dogg in an orange jumpsuit holding a mic like it's Exhibit A. People started calling it the rap Oppenheimer moment. Because just like that bomb, once this truth dropped, there was no putting it back. But let's talk about the reaction from the stars, because that's when things really started spiraling. First up, 50 Cent, of course. You already know this man lives for Diddy scandals like kids live for Christmas. He jumped on Instagram faster than a TMZ intern posting, "Told y'all years ago, the truth always got receipts." Then he added a crying emoji, because 50 doesn't just throw shade, he builds an entire eclipse. Fans went nuts. The comments turned into a roast battle. 50 have been predicting this since the dial-up internet, one said. Another wrote, 50 got Diddy living in the group chat rent-free. But wait, it gets better. Kanye, out of nowhere, posted a Bible verse and then a photo of himself in a bulletproof vest with the caption, "The system hides the real devils." Like, bro, we weren't even talking about you, but thanks for the cameo. Classic, yeah. Meanwhile, Eminem liked a post about justice for Tupac. That one simple tap on a heart emoji made headlines. Imagine being so famous your likes make CNN. And then there's the fans, make CNN. And then there's the fans. Oh man, the fans went feral. People started analyzing Tupac lyrics like sacred prophecy. Remember when he said, "I ain't a killer, but don't push me"? Maybe he was warning us. Someone else pulled up an old MTV clip where Snoop said, "Me and Pac had our differences, but I loved him." Now it's being dissected like it's a secret code. TikTok was even worse. Every teenager suddenly turned into a criminal profiler. Here's my theory why Snoop knew too much. One kid says while pointing at a blurry VHS screenshot from 1996, "It's chaos, but beautiful chaos, the kind only hip-hop can create." But here's the curveball. The more people dug, the weirder it got. Because apparently, some old unreleased interview footage of Suge Knight from prison resurfaced. In it, he smiles and says, "Everybody already knows who did it. They were just scared to say it. B-Row." You could hear the internet collectively scream. Every comment section lit up like a 4th of July fireworks show. People started tagging Diddy, tagging Snoop, tagging their grandma. Anyone who might have tea. One fan wrote, "If Suge knew, the whole industry knew." Another said, "They are all protecting each other like it's the rap version of the Avengers." And speaking of Avengers, here's the irony. Remember that old photo of Snoop, Diddy, and Dr. Dre laughing together at an event? Yeah, that image is now viral again, except this time it's captioned, "The Council of Chaos." But it didn't stop at memes and captions. Brands started getting involved. One fast food chain tweeted, "We might serve beef, but not that kind." You know it's bad when corporations start trolling your murder case. And as the firestorm grew, Diddy tried to play it calm, posting a video from his mansion saying, "Don't believe everything you read." But bro, when you say that with 10 bodyguards in the background and nervous energy in your eyes, nobody believes it. One comment said, "That's exactly what a guilty man with a yacht would say." Meanwhile, Snoop went live, chilling in his studio, puffing smoke and saying, "They trying to mess with Uncle Snoop's vibe, but I'm too blessed to be stressed." Cool line, right? Except half the chat was spamming. Where were you in Vegas '96? Even Martha Stewart posted a confusing emoji. When Martha's lost, you know it's serious. But while the memes flew, the deeper story started surfacing. And that's where things got darker. A supposed former associate of Bad Boy Records went on a podcast claiming he heard Diddy brag about knowing who really did it. The guy's voice was shaky, his face blurred, but his words, chilling. He said, "There were talks, man. Big talks. People knew. They just didn't want to go down with the ship. Now, whether this dude's legit or just chasing clicks, doesn't matter. Because perception in 2025 moves faster than truth. And once the internet decides you're guilty, bro, good luck on trending." By this point, you had news anchors, YouTubers, and even AI deepfake accounts making fake confession videos. One clip of a Diddy AI confession hit 10 million views before people realized it wasn't real. That's how wild it got. People literally can't tell reality from remixes anymore. And somewhere in the middle of this chaos, a verified music journalist dropped a bombshell tweet. The Vegas police are considering reopening the investigation if credible evidence surfaces. Reopen the case. That one tweet broke the internet harder than Beyoncé's pregnancy reveal. Fans started demanding justice. Hashtags like Mujpac deserves peace and Truth for Shakur began trending worldwide. Suddenly, this wasn't just entertainment gossip, it was cultural warfare. Old school rappers started calling for accountability. Ice Cube tweeted, "If there's truth to this, the game's got some explaining to do." Nas posted a candle emoji. Jay-Z? Silent. Which somehow made people even more suspicious. The world split into two sides. Team They Did It, convinced this was all part of a giant industry cover-up. Team Ain't No Way, loyal fans defending Diddy and Snoop till their last Wi-Fi bar. And then came the documentaries. Bruh, the speed was insane. Within days, you had YouTube channels dropping Exposed, the real story of Tupac's murder, complete with spooky music and fake FBI files. Netflix and Hulu are probably fighting each other in a boardroom right now for the rights. This is how crazy it got. Someone found a Diddy and Snoop Dogg collab track from 2006 and slowed it down, claiming they heard hidden messages. Listen carefully, the uploader said. At 2:47, Snoop whispers, "Vegas." I listened. Bro, it was literally just him saying, "Let's blaze." But the internet doesn't care. It's already gospel. Even the TikTok conspiracy turned it into a challenge. The Ask Tupac Truth Challenge, where users film themselves explaining their theory in under 60 seconds. Some of these kids weren't even born when Tupac died, but they're out here solving the crime like they graduated from CSI SoundCloud. And as this cultural earthquake kept growing, you could feel one thing becoming clear. This was bigger than music. This was about truth, power, and legacy. If Diddy and Snoop's names even brush this case officially, the entire 90s rap mythology, East versus West, Death Row versus Bad Boy, gets rewritten. Every lyric, every diss, every interview suddenly becomes a clue. One journalist said it perfectly. If this leak is real, we're not just revisiting history. We're realizing we never actually knew it. And that's the scariest part, right? Because for decades, Tupac wasn't just a rapper. He was a symbol, a prophet of rebellion, a voice for the unheard. And now the people who once shared his stage are being whispered about as suspects? That's not just irony, that's cinematic tragedy. And the craziest part? We still haven't hit the end of this rabbit hole. Because while the world's screaming online, something even darker is brewing behind the scenes. Something that could shake what's left of their careers, their friendships, and their entire public image. Because when you mix power, money, and secrets this deep, the truth doesn't just come out, it explodes. When the smoke finally settled, hip-hop didn't look the same. Diddy went ghost. No parties, no live videos, no motivational quotes. Just silence. His empire, once louder than a Vegas nightclub, suddenly felt like a graveyard. Endorsements froze. Artists started quietly backing out. Even his Brothers for Life stopped answering calls. Snoop tried to play it cool, smiling for the cameras, posting funny reels, but you could see the crack in the calm. Interviewers avoided the topic like it was radioactive, and his PR team was working overtime trying to scrub Vegas 1996 from Google faster than AI can blink. The world didn't know what to believe anymore. Fans cried betrayal, others yelled, "Set up!" And some just sat there staring at old Tupac videos, wondering if the man had been warning us the whole time. Every lyric suddenly felt prophetic. Every photo, evidence. And through it all, one truth remained. Nobody trusts anyone. The hip-hop brotherhood, shattered. Every collaboration now looks like a crime scene. Every smile, a secret. But here's the thing, bruh. Legends never stay buried. The louder they try to silence the past, the stronger it echoes. Tupac once said, "You can't stop the truth." And now, almost 30 years later, that truth's finally knocking. Loud. So maybe this ain't just about Diddy and Snoop. Maybe it's about an entire culture built on loyalty, betrayal, and billion-dollar lies. And as the world waits for the next headline, one question burns louder than ever. Was justice delayed? Or carefully planned? Because in this game, truth doesn't fade. It reloads. Welcome to hip-hop's most dangerous chapter. And trust me, the story ain't over. Yo, if your jaw's still on the floor, good. That means you're alive. And you just witnessed the wildest twist hip-hop's ever seen. Because this right here, this ain't no bedtime story. This is history unfolding in real time. And it's messier than a Love & Hip Hop reunion hosted by Suge Knight. But before we all disappear into another internet rabbit hole, let's keep it real. You know this ain't the end. Every day, new leaks are dropping, insiders are talking, and somewhere in a mansion right now, someone's sweating over a lawyer's number. This case isn't cold anymore, it's smoking. So smash that like button like it owes you money. Hit subscribe before the feds do, and turn on those notifications. Because when the next bomb drops, you already know Rapscope X is breaking it first. We don't sip tea here. We pour gasoline on it and light the match. Drop your thoughts in the comments too. Do you think Diddy and Snoop really knew something? Or is this all just another Hollywood illusion? I'm reading everything, and trust me, some of y'all theories deserve their own documentary. And hey, if you thought this story was wild, wait till you see what's next. The rap game's cracking like glass, and every truth that comes out makes the last one look soft. This is Rapscope X, where every beat has a body, every lyric has a secret, and every scandal gets exposed before TMZ even wakes up. Stay tuned, because the next chapter, it's gonna shake the culture again. Rapscope X, where the truth doesn't sleep. Where the truth doesn't sleep.